Usado. Quem tem essa soca, tinha mille de benefit some years. The Rabone, Kinason, tinha que so do banso, ane te kusagi la, te kusag history asi, ka te bora tina no sons, ka mbandi be bangapo ne sal kan komorio otete. Manka ne biara ane ya pitu ya zo ya ton. Silfantina amal abuzas de benefit son Professor John Azumah so kan tete gare kan tete bana na sala ne ko sala wasa ka di ba ba dunia mi yana ban buka si to Prof I will say congratulations on your book.
Thank you.
The British and Chieftaincy in Northern Ghana, the Bawku Skin Affair. That's the title. Yes. So I want to know, like, what inspired you to write the book at this time?
Yeah, thank you. So what inspired me to write the book? I have said it in the book. What inspired me? I have said in the opening introduction of the book, and this I was inspired by two comments made by two politicians. One MPP politician who was the coordinator for national security, and another by an NDC politician who was the minority leader at the time. So these politicians made comments about the Bawku issue that really inspired me to dig deeper into the issue. And that is what led me to go into research to write this book. So it's all in the book, in the introduction. All the comments they made is there, and how it inspired me, it's all in the introduction.
And the book is being launched at the Institute of African Studies at the University of Ghana.
Yes, it's going to be launched at the Institute of African Studies at Legon on the 2nd of July 2025, Wednesday. That will be from 3:30 to 5:30 p.m. It will be chaired by the immediate past VC academics at the University of Ghana, and also the British High Commissioner will be the guest of honor. That is what is going to happen on the 2nd of.
So, what's the significance of the venue? Why did you choose that venue?
Oh, we chose that venue because we work with the University of Ghana, and we have colleagues and partners there. But the Institute of African Studies is also a research institute, and they do a lot of research. So I've interacted with a lot of colleagues there, and that is why they invited us to have it, the book launch at the institute. So that's why we are having it there.
Yeah. So one would ask that what are the key themes or historical revelations they should expect from the book?
Yeah, the book is divided into 12 chapters. It has 12 chapters. It is about 270 pages, sorry. The first part of the book, Chieftaincy, the British and Chieftaincy in Northern Ghana, covers issues of chieftaincy as the British came in the late 19th century, and how they got involved in restructuring the chieftaincy institution in the whole of the north. So the first part of the book covers chieftaincy in Northern Ghana, from the Gonja, the Dagomba, the Wala, the Mampusi, Dagati, Sisala, Kasina Nankani, Frafra, Kusasi area, all of it. So the book, the first part covers that general history of chieftaincy in Northern Ghana. And then the second part covers the Bawku Skin Affairs, focusing on the Kusasi area, but also mostly on the Kusasi, the Mampusi, and also the Frafra area. That's what the second part covers. Yes.
So, do you think that the book provides a definitive historical event to the Bawku Skin? And also, will it change the narrative about the Bawku conflict among policymakers, traditional authority, or the general public?
That is my hope. The reason why I wrote the book, as I said, was I realized that there was some information out there, and nobody had done some checks on those on the information. As a researcher, my task is to look for evidence to back every information that I give. So this book, about 95% of the sources are archives. I went to the archives, I've got all the documents from the archives, and so they are backed by evidence. And I found information that I never knew existed, very new information. And so for me, this book is going to throw up a lot of new information about the issue on Bawku, but even beyond Bawku, on the chieftaincy institution in northern Ghana as a whole. And that is what, I've not seen any book that is written to that level, that surveys chieftaincy in the whole of the northern Ghana with that kind of in-depth research based on archives. I've seen papers, I've seen book chapters on that, but this is kind of a groundbreaking work that I undertook. So I have no doubt that it will have new information for policymakers. Whether the policymakers will make use of the information is up to them. But I have done my work as a researcher and as a scholar.
And there's an ongoing mediation with the Otumfo. A few months ago, you wrote a letter to the Otumfo drawing attention to certain matters on the ongoing mediation efforts. I want to know whether you got a reply from the manager of the asset concerning the
I wouldn't want to go into details. All I will say is that I'm in communication with various people. They contact me, I don't contact them. And so that's all I will say on that issue.
And in your opinion, will the mediation led by the asset end this long-lasting conflict, given the complexities and the sensitivity of the Bawku issue?
That is my hope. But I have my serious doubts also that the mediation will end the whole conflict. My worry is that there have been landmark cases and definitive rulings and determinations made by courts and by various bodies, and it has not solved the problem. The problem I see in this issue is that both Mampusis and Kusasis are looking for a zero-sum game. What I mean by that is that each of them wants a Santehene or whatever body to come out and say, Bawku is for you, the skin is for you, and take it. And the other one, you should forget about it. That's what each party is looking for. And first of all, I don't think that will happen with the mediation. Second of all, if that happens, it will not bring lasting peace. Because the other party that is being denied will not take it lying down. So for me, and a compromise too is not going to be the best solution, because a compromise, I know that Kusasis are not going to accept a compromise, for instance. And the Mampusis are not going to accept a ruling that the skin belongs to Kusasis and Bawku belongs to Kusasis and they should forget about it. That will not bring peace. That will not, for peace, I don't see how we will get peace. Because it has happened in 1958, it has happened in 2000s, it has happened throughout the past decades, and it has not brought peace. I don't think Asantehene's mediation is going to bring peace. But I pray that it does, but I don't think it will.
So you are saying that, like the courts have ruled in favor of Kusasis, there are so many documents and this.
Yes.
And this mediation is not going to solve if at the end of the Otumfo says Kusasis are the owners of the land, or Kusasis are the true Mampusis cannot claim any chieftaincy from Bawku. They will not take it.
They will not take it. The Mampusis will not accept it. And I don't think Otumfo will say that. I don't think Otumfo will say that, because for me, I believe that mediation is always about finding a middle path, finding a compromise. If you heard recently what the president said, even publicly, and that is just a tip of the iceberg that we are hearing publicly. There's much more under behind closed doors.
Concerning the roadmap.
Concerning the roadmap. So now they're asking Nairi to give his own solution to the conflict. I hope they have asked our Zubrana also, because there's no way the Zubrana roadmap and the Nairi roadmap is going to be the same. So when the two roadmaps are sent, Asantehene is going to find a middle way, and the middle way is not going to bring peace. If Asantehene declares that the whole thing belongs to Kusasis, it's not going to bring peace. The most comprehensive work that was done on this issue was in the Afari Commission in 1957, and that didn't even bring peace. So and the Appeals Court and the Supreme Court and all of these rulings didn't bring peace. I don't see the issue bringing peace. That is why I made that proposal I made about in the letter that was taken. And I'm happy. I'm a scholar. When you write something, people criticize it, and I learn from it, and I move on. But I am telling you, for me, that is the only solution that can be offered, and hopefully it can silence and quieten the situation for a long time to come.
You just mentioned about the rejoinder that was written against your letter. People asking that you don't have that authority to speak for Kusas on any grounds. How did you receive that reaction?
Well, first of all, I wasn't speaking on behalf of Kusa. I was offering my personal opinion. And second of all, I don't respond to everything that people say. As an academic, I respond to things that are of substance and of importance. And if I don't see your views to be of any importance, I ignore it. And I didn't see this thing to be of any significance or importance, so I ignored it.
And do you see the agenda having a link with these KPC issues that we've had in the past?
Oh yeah, there are those who have ears and those who have eyes to see. The good thing is that many Kusas are very perceptive. There are a lot of us who are followers. We just follow anything. But there are quite a number of Kusasi, especially young ones, and even older ones who are very perceptive. And they see things and they know it, even though they will not speak about it. So I know that people know what it is. And I'm not going to be the one talking about it. Yeah. I conserve my energies for productive work. So for me, I've written a book. Those who don't like, those who don't agree with my views should come out and counter the book. And that's what I would love to see. I will throw a challenge out there that anyone, this was just a letter I wrote. Those who know better, they should come out with a better book and let us have a conversation.
Okay. Yeah. As a scholar or should I say a researcher, what's your long-term vision for the peace in Kusari? And what role should history and evidence-based dialogue play in achieving that peace?
Yeah, if you read my book, you will see that there's a lot in history that we have to learn. First of all, one of the reasons why we are where we are is because Kusasis believed so much in superstition. And they saw Nairi as a supernatural individual with supernatural powers. And we subjected ourselves to the Nairi because of those beliefs. Unfortunately, the superstition is still very strong today. When we have superstitions and we believe in anything and everything, it can lead you into servitude. And this is what happened to our situation. For me, and if you read the book again, you see that what has led us out of that situation was education. It was our educated people who, after seeing the light, if I may put it that way, came out to rise up against the servitude and the colonialism. So for me, we can learn a lot from history that education is very important. Superstition only cripples and it holds us back. Unfortunately, the superstition is still very strong today, as it was in those days. And that's my fear, my worry.
So you were mentioning the president's statement during his thank you talk in the Northeast region. So I want us to talk about your view on this current government's approach to the Bawku conflict as compared to the Eswar now government's approach. Is there a difference? Are we going to achieve something better than what the previous government did, or is going to need to the same thing?
No, if you're asking me about the different the approaches, whether there's any difference, my view is that I don't see much difference, and I think, and that's what I'm a little bit disappointed, because if you keep doing the same things, you keep getting the same results. And I was hoping that the new government would have observed what happened in the previous government, and when they come, they will review certain things in the whole process. They haven't done that. They have maintained everything that was there. The security apparatus and are set up in Bawku, they maintained it. You've got the security posted around the Mampusi communities to protect the Mampusis. And then the Mampusis are able to go out and shoot Kustas and kill them and go back in. They have even extended it from Bawku to Linduri. So that apparatus is problematic for me. The security should be there to protect not national institutions and government properties and major public areas, but shouldn't be there to protect one community against the other. That is a problem. But for me, and the exports continue, again, which is a problem. But the other issue that I have is that we should have even reached where we are today. My view is that if the NDC party, when they were in opposition, had close ranks with the NPP government at the time to support the NPP government on the Bawku issue. If the NDC had come out to say, Kufu-Addo has come out to say there's only one chief in Bawku, and that what happened in Nairobi was illegal. If the NDC had come out to say the same thing and to support the government, I think the government of the day would have had the courage and the encouragement to solve the problem. And the NDC didn't do it. And because the NDC kept quiet, and the government of the time also realized that NDC wanted to use the thing to do politics with it, and they also started backing off. That made our situation worse. So I believe strongly that the NDC's silence during the peak of the crisis did not help matters. They made it worse when they started campaigning and started using the whole issue as a campaign issue for politics. So that is where I think party politics has not helped us. And I pray that our people will wake up from that and see that if we put our eggs in the basket of the politicians, one party or the other, it's not going to help solve our problem for us at all.
So you mean to say that the government hasn't demonstrated neutrality or sincerity or even any commitment to attaining peace? That they're just fueling the conflict in a subtle way.
I think the government is interested in peace. I think the government is very keen on resolving the Bawku issue. Both this government and the past government, they were both very keen. The problem is that they've allowed partisan politics to creep into it and to blind them to some of the issues. And that is what is making the whole thing protracted. If they take the partisan politics out and the two major political parties come together, they would have solved this problem way before the elections. That's the point I'm making. That didn't happen. And I'm praying that because now the NPP too is now watching and praying that the situation will get worse, so that the NDC would have failed also. And that, for me, it is the people of Bawku, the people of Kusa, who will suffer. There are some issues that you have to put the national interest above party interest. And I'm praying that our politicians will come to a point that they will realize that we need, Bawku is one such case. Let us rise above our party politics and work together to bring peace to Bawku. That's the only way we can bring peace to Bawku.
So, what do you think about our 6 MPs? What are they? Because now we have all the 6 in NDC. Have they done anything better than in the previous, in the 8th Parliament, when some were NDC and some were NPP.
Obviously, I don't blame the MPs. I think that the MPs are doing what they are expected to do. Some of us saw this. Some of us knew that if we gave all the 6 seats to NDC, this was going to be the result. Because you need to have people in opposition to be able to speak up. And we have no one in opposition to speak up on the Bawku issue from the Kusasa area. So you can't expect an NDC MP to get that in Parliament and speak up against its own government. That will not happen. That is why some of us saw this coming. The NDC time, the MPP time, it was better because we had 5 opposition MPs. Even though they were not speaking much, they were still making some noise. And some of us were joining them in making the noise. But now we have all our eggs in one basket, in the NDC basket. And we cannot turn around and blame the MPs, because that is their work. They are there to serve their party first, before anything, before their constituencies. Because without their party in government, they cannot serve their constituencies. So for me, I don't blame the MPs, even though I wish that they could have been outspoken and that they would give the government the right advice. The place I fault the MPs, and not just the MPs, but all NDC leadership in Kosa, is that they can put pressure on the government, to put pressure on Asantehene to speed up with things and to give them the right information. So, I don't think they are doing that enough.
Okay, so we mean that the MPs are not putting pressure on the Asantehene-led mediation to speed up.
Yeah, I don't think they are doing it enough. I don't think they are doing it publicly, and maybe they shouldn't be doing it publicly, but they should be doing behind closed doors. I can tell you that the last call, the last invitation that Asantehene gave out for the 2 parties to meet in his place, it was because the grounds had heated up. Mahama Yaraga's house was torched. Honorable Ladi her house was shot up. The grounds were very hot and the MPs were under pressure. That is what put pressure on the Asantehene to call that mediation to just calm down the situation. I knew that there was nothing going to come out of it. I knew it was all part of managing the situation that they called that meeting. But I didn't think there was anything that was going to come out of that situation, that meeting.
So, with your book, we want to know where do you from Costa Ghana or the international community take away from the book?
Well, with the book, I will say, people should read it for themselves. I have written it to educate people who are interested to know the history of chieftaincy in northern Ghana in general, and to know about the Bawku conflict in particular. I have been dispassionate in the book. I didn't allow my emotions as a Kusasi to overshadow the work. And I have said things that are very critical of the Kusasis, and I've said things that are very critical of Mampusis in the book, because that is for me what an academic should do. And there are some revelations in the book that Kusasis will be shocked to read, that I found in the archives. And that is so it's not just things that the Mampusis will find that will shock them, but there are things in the book that Kusasis will find that it will shock them also. And that is the purpose of academic research, that hopefully this new information would not just surprise and shock us, but it will make us sit up and do the right thing for the people of Kosa.
So you believe that the book will settle the historical debate over the right to go on of the Bawku Skin, or will open a new chapter for the debate or any question?
No, I didn't write this for a legal debate. I wrote it for education. And so for me, it is to educate policymakers, it's to educate the youth, both Mampusi and Kusasi youth. It is to educate the chiefs. It is to educate future generations on the conflict. And I don't see any reason why, as an academic, I would go out deliberately to lie or to make propaganda because I have got my own integrity as a scholar to protect. So for me, the evidence that I provided in the book is there. And as I said, nobody writes a book and says this is the final of the final word on the subject. You write the book and others will come also write, and then you to update. So this book, the new information may come out, we'll issue a revised edition and so on. But for me, the basic facts, the basic historical facts about the conflict in Bawku and about chieftaincy in the north, I believe I have firmly established those in the book. And whatever is going to come is just going to be some new idea that may come and reinforce here and strengthen here, and that's it. But there's not going to be anything in that book that anybody can come out and debunk and challenge and say this is just false. Because everything is backed by evidence. And let me add that all the archival material I've used in the book, I have them on my computer. I have them all on my computer because I scan every document that I have used. Because if you go to the archives, most of these documents are getting spoiled and they are getting torn into pieces. So I have saved those for deeper reading and research going forward. And so maybe in 3, 4, 5 years' time, a second edition of the book will come out with more details as I read more of the documents. But for now, I have established the basic facts in this book.
I can see that some of the documents are...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes. So, you mentioned people that will be coming and said the British High Commissioner. Are we inviting chiefs from Kusa? Are we inviting for any other members of the government and also the opposition MPP?
Oh yeah, we are sending out invitations to different segments of society. We are not inviting any chief from Kusa. We will invite chiefs from the Kusasi area, Kusasi chiefs here in Accra, who can attend because it's a long way to come from Kusa for a book launch. And let me say this: I know that many Kusasis, there are some Kusasis who value the religion and the superstition that I was talking about. There are others who value education and intellectual and research. And for me, this book is for those who value education and research. There are others who would say that, oh, this is just a waste of time. What is this book going to do? For them, if they go and kill a white cow on a stone, that will solve the problem better than academic research. That's fine. We need all the approaches that will help there. So for this is for academics, these are for university students, these are for up and coming generations, that this book can be used in schools, secondary schools, at the university colleges to teach about the history of our people. And that's my hope, that this book will get into all the secondary schools and into all training colleges in the Kusasi area and beyond for people to learn about our history.
So what are the options for
Yeah, as I said, we are sending all invitations to many people, including non-Kusasi chiefs, of course, and also I'm not going to talk about Otumfo because of the sensitivity of the mediations, but and I know, as I said, many have already contacted me when the flyer has gone around. I'm surprised, and I've received many calls from different segments of society. Those who are interested in academics, those who are interested in scholarship, and diplomatic missions in Accra, who are interested to reach out. So yeah, we are inviting wide.
We shared the flyer to, I think, 200 something pages of it.
You mentioned that, yeah, and it has gone very wide. And friends in America started contacting me. Oh, we can't find the book on Amazon yet, and I said the Amazon version is going to come out next month. So yeah, it's an open invitation to everybody. Yeah.
So I want us to say some men are but I would love that Tinami Amusa
Okay.
Ka ban ko na sala ba na ba me ba.
Yeah.
Me see that was.
Yeah.
So to borrow from yel kusa so ba do dunia news banga be buka ka fo sopa de piano boyela de son de kusa yela la wala ka ba mi ha ya kami by telling the man not just here dara
Yeah.
ka to was bana kinata to soma to start the making to
Yeah, well, beaucoup la kaman sobla ane nam yela. Beaucoup la nam yela. Nam yela men na ka na ko sa be bok nam yela man. Ane nam yela be tout thing la wosa. Den zang yeji kempas wa le be king sisa nam thing zang ken sisa nam thing ne zis pam nam yela la ka beaucoup la ka sobla. Ka ane nam yela be tout la. Ne nasa na de kana nam yela ning si they like the soap. Come in le gos bok na mele la bok na mazab la men gos they la sobole. Te sobole ne kan ana nasa na mala kena. Ka kayin na mele sim ne nasa na mani sim. Nasara ba man sil ka ba sobole de genna. Nasara la man sil usala bala sob ne digil kan business ya ka bunde archives. So archives na ka tanam king man king gos archives da banala zanga sob bukula. So bukul ane namayala ka bukul ane den na song ka ni de pamba de zi te namla yala kin simla ka bangle bi ko sas pem nam pamba pi alle yala ama fe aye bam pi silla ne manya sil akar sinda de podolla le pamba ka ba te pem na masiba me ton zi de biba mama me ba da zi le binne ya kamanda kin akar sinda kenye bangla ni yala den jugo anat namayala ka so ye te na kemba ne te sabalo bale juda bana mi bana nakaram kana bana te na bayra ka simsi de po boro ko bele zabat siliala ka ba kodo samre la ka te zeli binne de po mo yonde so la anani ba bangli bin le singre simsi ne le kam page simsi den a des du bangla kam sobla so bangla me na yogole ba ko yi zina larabda na salmana kana wani ba sama yida atete lakbangla university of Ghana ni kala ankara pa kan ni pam bana bora ba da bangla din da la kale gare bana bora ba da bana to pam bangla da ankara da kana bangla be to so bangla ne ma anan kariti kaka sohor ban ma zangana mzam so kan man zamza yem sungo te niri banga te na mayela fonto motom shi awusa fumet on zang foto mala bangara menson len song la ka manzanga song ma men song la ben yem zanga song ka te banga to kusa yalla binda simsi len asa ma de kana kan simsi len banga la ka manso la pusa ta
sil tusu ka fu bolos banga ni se ba ali nda bien piansia c'est from the place. So more for Pina and motivation to.
Dele ke kam so bon la ane ban tamaza tazabala se la ka tisiba mpia ne politician ne te buso ba bona baye ba ningele da gosa de la simsi ka politicians dali ayenda ane MPP politician ayenda NDC politician ka tanam marking si ala baye te pia bok bonda yalla kaba pia si batman kaba pia da tusman de pia da si badam man kamelen tusman ka ane seka mama men ko e ban la ni visi kon bonda simsim bozu ba si pia ka wone ba mori pia la no pas si ka mam mora dana aden tusman mamen ka tanam tumla ka tungan ka tumali mum kaza ala yala mazu mum na kala ka baye de ka baye tu batam tu bada fayayum sir ana fitem verse le kos so le verse le ka tam manda verse ko ne yuma yi wana ka manda ko verse ka ye politician la yel siela de sa ana la bele ka an mam verse la politician la menna pour ba yura bangal la me yel ya banda yel sila wana mam verse ne yesira wana Bamming nakar, bamming nanye, manye silla, the bam silla. Ngosila and silver like a so the sort like from Sabang.
The booty, a very good come. So it is calling bees.
Yeah.
The Karikina.
Yes.
The band of Oscar and when they are facing together on the research.
Yeah.
The like a focus over table.
And the bank.
More for yellow booty, come bull, but Sayina, got so many.
Yo, so budi bangla ka te doko pala bangla le ka ana so amana ka bang ane budi sa bang ana gana wo sa bang fi asa so bang na fo plan so le asa le asa na pen diri nus na bana yusu bangla bankar banyele sip ban lokole sip ane ban so le yusa kala ka funa so ya dejugo mayem bule so fa bane goska bang tuma munyon ane ka ba body ba bangale binne da kan ya apare ba ko yizina na sa wada kan ko da su ba yidare enam yina ka ta last university of Ghana ngo se bangla yo bishur ka bana bo bon yo pamosa ka men na pa menda men kar ka men bangale bin te bot te wisos ane bana ka ba nus te bas nga pamban lada ntis kala tempa te sakul beda bana ko saten ka sako biutan pambang la kar ka be darmen ka baminya ne so ya pia ko sagela ba mo labs ka to nanga labs ka ba le ko denzi am se ba zubiase bara na so mo tsansa usia
to buri ya penya be ina mi o mia ba na wana ka tsama musopa itizi kwala bul ko sa fia ko sa o fia ka ko sa ama fi ite ko sa so musa ka bokela la damo ka fo waro fo bam bokela din sing sim funen woni te samela ane boko yi sina we malaka na university of Ghana te sons de yanina ka to son ka ba iseka na ka te bis ne te petit bien ka bang te tengela ne tudu na mera binna asin kan biada ne te ya biga ya pitu ya taw ya zwa jina mashallah kuzansa dero ka te sangala ane te banta wa sangala ane te sama so banga yela katikina ne te sonso no te posia baraka
bye bye